All right, we have another great interview. Right now, I have Nancy Solomon. Hey, Nancy, how are you?
I'm so excited to be talking to you today, Amber.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So, Nancy, tell me, where are you from?
Well, the accent you hear is New York. I'm a Brooklyn girl.
Got it.
I just spent 30 years in Seattle raising my family, and I
Wow.
just moved to Orange County, California last year.
Last
So
year.
I just haven't hit Florida yet, but
Got it.
if not all four
You're like
corners.
going
Yeah.
all over the
Yeah.
US. That's so
Yeah.
funny. That's awesome. So, how long have you been in Orange County then?
A year.
A
Just
year.
a year.
Okay. And are you a part of the Orange County chapter?
I
Very
am.
cool.
And Diana Sabatino is our managing director, and she's brilliant.
Yeah.
She's brilliant and she's got an amazing heart and she's smart as a whip
She is.
and she's a connector like you've never seen. She's just there
Yeah.
to support us and it shows.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times and I've seen her in action. She is just awesome.
Yeah.
I love visiting the Orange County chapter. I got to come back.
Anytime.
Yeah. Question for you. So, what do you do?
I am the CEO and founder of Women Think Global,
Women Think Global.
and
Okay.
we have two arms of our organization. One, we go into male-dominated industries such as tech, and we work with the women to give them the quintessential leadership skills they need to be able to navigate an environment that is not very friendly to them.
Got it. Okay.
And the other thing is I work with very ambitious, driven, high potential women,
Mm,
women only, 40 to 50 years old, give or take, who are looking for the next step in their life. They want to make sure that they die without regret, that they leave a lasting legacy.
mhm.
And the big one for me is that they have an impact.
Got
They
it.
have a personally meaningful difference they make in the world.
Very cool. So, who's your ideal client then? Is it that age of between 40 and 50?
Yes,
Okay. And
yes.
women, obviously.
Women, college educated, good earners, and as I said, they're successful,
Yes.
but they don't necessarily feel fulfilled
Mm,
because they've been so busy taking care of everyone else their whole life, whether it's their children, their family, whatever,
right.
and doing what other people wanted them to do,
Mm,
that they wake up around 40 years old and they say, do I really want to spend the rest of my life doing what I'm supposed to do? Or do I want to figure out what I want to do
right.
and create a plan to do that?
Yeah. No, it's really important. I bet that's a big niche that needs to be filled.
It is. And especially, Amber, since COVID, since the
Yeah.
last 4 years between COVID and George Floyd and the election and all the political unrest in our country, women are waking up and they're saying, well, my purpose is here, but I'm doing this that has nothing to do with my purpose,
Mm,
and I'm not feeling satisfied.
yeah.
No amount of money or job title or car or home can fill that need I think we're born with, or that
Yeah.
purpose that we're born with to make a difference.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wonderful helping them figure out what that is
Mhm.
and then how to create a plan and then execute on the plan so they have a life more to their liking.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think there's definitely a need for that. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, and I've asked everyone so far this question. What are three pearls of wisdom that you would give to somebody that's maybe starting out so that maybe they don't get into that spot of feeling unfulfilled? Like what have you learned to help you get to the place where you are now?
Okay. Uh, I'm known for my Solomonisms. Those are quotes. They're award winning quotes. So let me give you a few quotes.
Okay.
Um, you get in life what you have the courage to ask for, Solomonism number 112. And so, my biggest advice is ask. Do not wait for anybody to give you anything. Go out into the world, figure out what you want, and ask the people, whoever you need to ask, because most of the time, the answer is going to be a yes.
Mm,
The number two would be trust yourself. Trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself.
mhm.
um, Women in a patriarchal culture are taught not to trust themselves. They're supposed to ask everyone else for their opinion,
Yeah.
and then they end up unhappy. And it's because their gut told them, like if I ask an audience of 1,000 women, how many of you are divorced? Half the hands will go up. And then I'll say, well, how many of you knew that you shouldn't marry this person to begin with? And you would be shocked at the number of hands that stay in the air
Really?
because they knew, but they thought they were supposed to. This is what good girls do. And this is cross generationally. This isn't just baby boomers, for instance, right?
Right.
And the third thing I would say is I don't remember the number, I think it's 182 Solomonism. And it's you would not be given a hope, a dream, or a vision without also having the gifts and talents to fulfill it and make it real. So, for instance, I never had a desire to be a classical pianist. And I also don't have any talent for that, right?
Yeah.
But since I was 11 years old, I said, I want to be a writer. I want to write books, right? And that I have a talent for. So when somebody says to me, I really want to do X, Y, Z. I want to start my own business. I want to start a second business, whatever. It usually means that they already have the talent for it.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. Like, if you've had a desire for a while, then you have the tools to be able to do it and the
Yeah.
skill set, and you just need the courage and the push, right?
Well, the courage,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to know that you need to know what you want, not how you're going to get there. So it's a what, it's not a how. Because the minute we get clear and deliberate on what our intention is, like writing a book, then all of a sudden we're going to bump into authors or writing coaches or publishers. That's how that works, right?
Yeah. That's so cool. So the other part of your business and helping women become more integrated into like a technical field, how do you do that? Like, how do you help them do that? Is that through classes or how does that work?
A lot of coaching. I do a lot of coaching. I've been
Okay.
coaching for 34 years before it was an industry.
Wow.
Yeah. And we just calculated I have 17,302 hours of coaching, give or take.
That's quite a few hours.
And so there's a lot of coaching. I do classes, trainings, etc. I don't want them to fit in. So the majority of people in tech, for instance, are white men. We have our men of color and some women of color. It's less than 5% of women of color in tech. What I do is I teach them how to figure out what they want, how to gain the confidence. So when they see a promotion, let me give you an example. When a promotion or a job opening happens and they put it on the job board, men will, and this is, I'm making a sweeping generalization, of course, but it applies to more times than it doesn't.
Sure.
Men will look at the course, listen to me, not the course, but the requirements for the job, and they'll go, I can learn that, I can learn that. All right, I'm in, I'm applying, right? Women think they need to have 100% of the skills
Before they
apply, right?
Yeah,
And
the
that is
mindset.
because women have been taught that you need 100% of the skills before you apply.
Right.
Because we know from research that men are hired on popularity, as it were. Women are hired like on potential, and women are hired based on what they've already accomplished. This is research out of Stanford. This is solid information, right?
Wow.
So what I do is I say, no, let's take a look at these requirements. Okay. I know this. Just check everything you know. Okay, great. Now, what about this? Well, that's a certificate. Okay, how long will it take you to get that? 3 months. Okay, we're going to put 3 months down there. Okay, let's look at this next thing. Here's a skill. Do you know anybody that has this skill? Well, there's Bob over in the blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's put his name down. You're going to go reach out to him. And when we go down the list, they're like, I could do this job. In 3 months, I'll have all the skills. So it's helping them to look at things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's teaching them how to stand up in a meeting and be heard if somebody talks over them or takes their idea. And I'm going to tell this to everybody listening, do not ever, ever, ever sit against the wall in a conference room if there's a seat at the table. Because women will say it's no big deal because we're used to having our children eat off our plates and take whatever they liked, and then we eat the leftovers, right?
Right.
That's no big deal. It is a big deal.
Yeah.
So they need to learn what I call professional presence, what is known as executive presence, so that they can navigate this and they can be seen as the leader they inherently are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
As opposed to the woman that the culture taught them to be, so they can fit in and everybody's very comfortable.
Yeah. I love that. You're basically like unlearning, making them unlearn some of those things that they've learned.
Did I use those words with you?
No, I just
Because maybe, when you're at a conference, you talk to 100 people, right?
yeah,
And that's actually in my literature. It says it's important. So thank you for picking that up on
yeah,
me.
uh-huh.
And we've got the vibe
Yeah,
going
there we
here.
go.
Um, unlearning a lot and then replacing it with really mentally healthy
Yeah.
and successful techniques and skills.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, as a woman, I'm not a mom, but like, I feel like I fall into that rut sometimes of just like, no, it's okay. I have a servant's heart. That's what I've been told, right? And I always go back, or I let other people. And so, but I'm a leader too, so I'm trying to find that like line of like, okay, these are the circumstances where I can stand up and be that leader. These are the times when I should probably step down or let somebody else. And I feel like there's a
Those are amazingly powerful questions, which indicate to me that you have a great level of self-awareness, and leadership starts with self-awareness.
Yeah.
Number one quality of that. But you could say to yourself, and I don't know what your aspirations are 5 or 10 years from now or whatever,
Sure.
but you could say, let's say you wanted to have a $4 million company. I'll just make that up.
Sure. I mean, that would be nice.
Okay. You could say to yourself, if I was running a $4 million company right now, what would I be doing? What would I be thinking? What would I be saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be different from what I'm doing now. Probably. Yeah.
But keep in mind, I don't know how old you are, but keep in mind, this is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
You're learning skills here right now from women and from the women and men that you meet here
Yeah.
that you're going to take with you. You can never lose those
No,
skills.
yeah. They're priceless for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, I know there's a reason why I'm there, whether it's for a season or for life. I'm learning something. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate you, Nancy, coming on here and sharing. And, I find what you do very fascinating. And I
Thank
know it's
you.
very much needed.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm really, I have a lot of gratitude that 34 years later, I'm more excited than ever. That I've never gotten jaded. It never gets old for me. I just keep, what is she, Sandra was talking today about momentum. I keep going on to the next iteration and the next iteration. So thank you.
Yeah. No, that's exciting to see.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.